Hello, good morning. Today we'll be going over some pre and post run stretches for runners. Now, the major muscles used for running are your calves and your hamstring and your quadriceps. So, we will be definitely doing stretches for all these three, and we'll also be working at strengthening the ankle and consolidating the hip joint. So, please join me. So if you're just preparing for a run, it would be good to warm up first. And then, so basic 5 minute warm up would be jogging in place, or it could be a short jog around where you live, or it could be some kind of movement which involves the lower body and the upper body. Like, for instance, you could do some stepping to the sides, or you could step sideways 2 steps at a time, or you could do the grapevine, which is basically step, cross, step, tap, step, cross, step, tap. You can also cross your arms over your head when you cross the legs. So cross, step, tap, step, cross, step, tap. You go on like this for 5 minutes. So now let's presume you finished your 5 minute warm up and now you're ready for some stretches. So the first one is a calf stretch, and I'd like to show this in a standing position on the mat. So I'll turn away from you so you can see better. Now take a big step forward with your right leg. And when you take a big step forward with the right leg, left foot gets to be on the toe because of the stance. Now push that left heel down towards the floor. As soon as you push the left heel down, you feel a stretch starting from the heel upwards all the way to the calf muscle. So your left calf is getting a stretch. Now to make this more intense, you can raise your arms up and then bend the right knee slightly. So this action of bending the right knee is making the stretch in the left calf more intense. You can hold this for 15 seconds and then lower your arms down. And repeat on the other side. So now you can repeat the stretch for your right calf. Now the other stretch that I'd like to recommend for the calf is a little different. And I'm going to use a window for this one. So you can stand up on a step with both feet on the step and then suspend one heel down. So I've taken my right foot and keeping it half on the step and half outside of the step. As you can see, the front of my foot is firmly on the step, the foot is off the step. Now I'm going to suspend this heel down towards the floor. And when you do that, the stretch in the calf becomes intense. Keep on pushing the heel down to get the stretch more intense. So now I'm pushing my heel some more down, as you can see. And then release. And you can switch for the other leg. Now place the other foot half on the step, half off the step, and suspend the heel down. If you want to make this stretch more intense, you can raise your upper body a little higher and then release. Now it would help to choose a step where the edge of the step is a little more rounded. So you get some of the steps where the edges are more rounded. So you could use those. Now we'll be going forward. All right, so we've completed the calf stretch. And now we'll be going for hamstring stretch. So now these are all the post warm-up stretches, and each of these post warm-up stretches need to be held for only 15 seconds. So now let's get forward with hamstring stretch. So stand with your feet about hip distance apart and get your right leg forward and place it on the heel. Now my right leg is on the heel and I'm placing both my hands on my right thigh. So as you do that, you immediately experience a stretch in the hamstring of the right. Point your toes somewhat towards your face if you want the stretch to be more intense. And if for some reason you cannot place your heel on the floor if it's hurting you, you can always keep the foot flat and then still get the stretch into the hamstring. So now this is a very simple way to stretch the hamstring. Now we repeat this for the left leg. So stand with your feet hip distance apart, left leg forward, keep the left leg straight, place both your hands on the mid thigh of the left and bear down with your hands onto the thigh and you experience the stretch in the hamstring. Now you can make the stretch more intense, and if you don't have issues with your heels, place your foot on the heel, point your toes towards your face and hold the stretch. Now this action of pointing the toes towards the face is called flexing, and this also helps to stretch into the calf. So hold for 15 seconds and release. Come back up. Now we move the stretch to the upper body and we're going to be doing a simple quad stretch. So this one requires balance and I'm changing my direction. Stand with your feet hip distance apart. Fold your left leg and grab your left ankle. Now you need wall support for this. So you can keep your hand extended in front of you on the wall and take your left heel towards the back. So you're basically lifting the leg up away from you and the knee is moving away. Earlier both the knees were in line with each other. Now we're moving the knee away. This action of moving the knee away stretches into the quadricep muscle which is in the front of your thigh. So it's a very good quad stretch. This is a simple quad stretch. You can keep the arm straight, the arm that's holding the ankle. You can keep it straight or bend it slightly towards the ceiling to make the stretch more intense. And release. Now on the other side, I'm going to be showing the stretch slightly more intense than the first side. So now you can fold the other leg, keep both the thighs in line with each other, and now stand further away from the wall than we were previously. Earlier we were arm distance away from the wall. Now we're a little more further away from the wall. So, which means you need to lean forward to place your hand on the wall. And now this gives you a greater range of motion to lift the leg up. It helps to balance because the upper body is balancing. Upper body is bending forward and you're lifting the leg higher. Now the leg on which you're standing could be slightly bent at the knee. That's also fine. You can continue to lift into the thigh and experience a quad stretch and release. Now you can come back to the center. So let's look at how we can do the quad stretch in a different variation. So we will be now using the floor for quad as well as hamstring. So the simplest hamstring stretch first would be to go onto the floor, access the floor and go into the box position. Knees directly below the hip joint, hands directly below the shoulders and look forward. Now curl the toes and lift your buttocks off the floor. So you use the toes and show sideways. This is the box position. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly below the hip joint. Your back is neutral, looking forward. Now curl the toes and walk your feet a little forward and lower your head towards the floor. This is a very good hamstring as well as back stretch. You can walk your hands some more forward and push the floor with your hands and create more length into the torso. So if you notice, I'm pushing into the floor and I'm pushing my tailbone away towards the ceiling and I'm lowering my head, down of the head towards the floor and the face towards the knees. So this is a very good hamstring as well as calf stretch. This is a stretch to the posterior part of the body. So all the muscles in the posterior of the body, that's the calf, the hamstring, also the buttocks, as well as the lower back, middle back, upper back, are all getting a nice stretch. Now you can release this pose and come back to the box position. Now I'll be turning forward and we'll be going forward with a quad stretch. So the simplest quad stretch, again, I'm allowing you to access it from the box position, would be to step the right leg forward. So the right leg is now forward and the left knee is back. You can push the left knee some more back and then simply look forward. Now, as soon as you do this, you experience a stretch in the front of the thigh, that's the quadricep muscle, and you look up. This is also a hip flexor stretch. So to make this stretch more intense, you can slightly tighten your buttocks and you gently push your pelvis towards the floor. A very slight movement, pelvis towards the floor to deepen the quadricep and the hip flexor. Now you can release and repeat on the other side. So now I'm going to show the other side sideways. So here I'm in the box position. Now I'm stepping this leg forward and I'm experiencing a front of thigh stretch in the right thigh. And to make it more intense, you push the knee back a little more or push the front foot a little forward and then you tilt your pelvis towards the floor. So if you notice from here, I'm tilting the pelvis towards the floor to deepen the stretch in the right quad and the right hip flexor. Look forward and release. Come back slowly. So 15 seconds is what we try to hold each of these stretches for. Now you can walk your leg back and come back to the box position, and you can also now experience the same stretches in a lying down position. So please lie down on your back. Join me. We'll be doing all these three stretches. That is the calf, the hamstring, and the quadricep in a lying down position. Now, post the run, you need to make the stretches a little longer. So I would advocate that you hold the stretches for at least 30 seconds post run. This is because we have lactic acid built up in the muscles and you need to hold the stretches for 30 seconds to release that. So let's please lie down on your back. So now these are the post-run stretches. We'll be holding them for 30 seconds. If you're short of time, you can always repeat the pre-run stretches for 30 seconds, the ones that I showed you, the standing versions, and hold them for longer. If you have more time, say on a weekend, and you want to stretch a little more and also relax with the stretches, then you can do these lying down stretches, which I'm going to show for slightly longer time today. Now the first one would be the calf stretch. So you lie down on your back with your knees bent, kneecaps towards the ceiling, hands by your side, and lift your right leg off the floor. And keeping the right knee bent, reach for your right big toe with your index finger, middle finger, and thumb of the right hand. So let's get a nice hold on the right big toe. And if you notice, my knee is still bent. However, I'm pushing my heel up towards the ceiling. So everybody please do that. Push your heel up towards the ceiling. Now this is a stretch directed to the calf muscle. The action of pulling the big toe towards the shin is flexing the ankle joint and helping to stretch into the calf. And you can release slowly and gently. Let go. Release this leg. Now we switch. Get the left leg off the floor and reach for your left big toe with your index, middle, and thumb. Keeping the left knee bent, flex the left ankle towards the shin and push the left heel up. It's a very nice stretch, simple stretch for the calf. The action of lifting the leg up away from the body is also elevating the foot and giving some relief to the entire leg. And this is also soothing for your lower back because the lower back gets slotted to the floor whenever we fold the knees, and more so when we lift the leg up. Now you can release. Next, we'll be going for a hamstring stretch. So please stretch your right leg away from you. Right knee is now straight. Lift the right leg up. Try and bring the leg to at least 90 degrees or 60 degrees. Now interlock your fingers behind your thigh. So now the hands are interlocked behind the thigh at the mid-thigh level, that is midway between the knee and the buttock. So you get a nice grip. And once again, hold the leg there and flex your ankle. Point your right toes towards your face as you hold the stretch. You can draw the leg a little more towards you. If you wish, you may even lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Now my head and shoulders are off the floor. I'm trying to move my nose, my chin, or my forehead towards the lifted leg. Keep on breathing normal. So we try to hold for 30 seconds. And now you could even try to stretch your left leg away from you. So now the left leg has been straightened out. And release. So to release this leg, you should always bend the knee and then lower it down. That's good for the safety of the knee joint. Now we repeat this stretch on the other side. So both knees folded again, knee gaps towards the ceiling. Stretch your left leg out and bring this left leg up. Now you interlock your fingers behind the thigh. You're holding the left leg with your interlocked hands, flexing the left ankle towards your face, pushing the heel up towards the ceiling. Try moving the entire leg towards you while keeping the knee straight. You may lift your head and shoulders up, and you can bend your elbows to allow your upper body to move up some more towards the leg. And then in the final stage, as a variation, you could also stretch the other leg out. Right leg is now stretched out. You could have your upper body off the floor while you're sliding the right leg out. That's also fine. And release. Slowly and gently lower yourself down, upper body is down, and then send the leg away, pointing your toes away from you. Now, this is a tip I did not mention when we did on this side, but this is a very nice way to lower the leg, pointing the toes away from you as it stretches into the anterior tibialis. Now, this is a muscle that tends to hurt for people, for runners. or people who walk a lot. So stretching this muscle by pointing the toes away as you lower the legs slowly down is a very good way to relax and stretch into that muscle. Now you come back to the lying down position and pause for a little bit here. Your arms by your side, your feet relaxed, right foot flopping to the right, left to the left. This is a basic Shavasana position. This is also a very good restful position. And bring your awareness back. You can always do the Shavasana right at the end of all your stretches for 5 to 10 minutes. But now we're going forward. So once again, I would ask you to fold your knees and lift both your feet off the floor. And then grab your shin by wrapping your arms around the shin, upper body off the floor. Point your toes towards you. This is the Pavan Muktasana position. I like to show this sideways. So I'll be turning my mat around and you can also follow. So this is where we were, and we folded the knees, kneecaps towards the ceiling, feet flat on the floor. Then you lift your feet off the floor and bring your knees towards your chest, and then grab your arms around the knees. With one hand, you can hold the other wrist, or you can interlock the fingers and stay here. Try to move your chin, your nose, or your forehead towards the knees. Point your toes towards your face. This is a good stretch for the back and a contraction for the abdomen. And release. Slowly and gently let go. Gently bring your feet down and relax with your feet slightly out and your knees touching, palms by your side. Now it's good to contract the stomach after a run. I always like to do that so that I get the blood flow going in the body. And if there's any coldness in the body or any gastric problem, that goes away by doing that particular stretch which we just did, the Pavan Muktasana. Now the Pavan Muktasana can also be done in a simpler way. It's called the Ardh Pavan Muktasana. So I'll be showing it here now. So with your lying on your back, feet flat on the floor, kneecaps towards the ceiling, hands by your side. Bring your right knee towards your chest and grab the right shin with your interlocked hands. And then stretch your upper body up, bringing your nose, forehead or chin towards the knee. At the same time, stretch the left leg away. And hold this pose. This is Ardh Pavan Muktasana because we have used one leg towards the chest. This also stretches into the hip flexor and the quad of the other leg. So you're binding this leg towards the chest and the other leg gets to stretch away. It's a very nice stretch. And slowly release. Slowly and gently come back. Lower the head down and then release the leg and bring the other leg also. Now both kneecaps are towards the ceiling. We'll repeat this on the other side. Draw one knee in towards your chest and grab your interlocked hands around this knee. You could also make it more intense by reaching for the opposite wrist and then
Lift your head and shoulders off the floor. At the same time, stretch into the other leg. Keep the other leg lifted and parallel to the floor. Bring your chin, your nose, or your forehead towards the knee and hold the stretch and breathe normal. Now, this is a very gentle stretch for the back as well. Now, each of these stretches need to be held for at least 30 seconds, and then you release. Slowly and gently let go the upper body, bring it down, and release the bound leg. You can stretch out and then come back to the folded knee position. Now we'll be moving forward and doing the bridge or the Setu Bandhasana. Now that's very good for the glutes. So the muscles in your buttocks need to be contracted, and while doing that, you'll be once again stretching into the hip flexor and the quad. Now keep your feet about hip distance apart and your heels as close to the buttocks as you can possibly get. Now from here, lift your buttocks off the floor, squeeze your buttocks up, and be here. Now you're lifted off the floor, you're squeezing the buttocks. As you're squeezing the buttocks, the pelvis is lifting higher, and you can hold here and look towards the ceiling and breathe as you hold. Now you can tighten the buttocks a little more and lift yourself up a little higher. Everybody please try this. Now we need to hold the contraction. The buttocks are working to lift the pelvis off the floor. In the final stage, you can see if you want to bring your heels a little closer one at a time and squeeze your shoulders, take your arms below your back and reach for the ankle. With the right hand, hold the right ankle. With the left, hold the left. And hold this pose. So now the body resembles a bridge. That's why it's called the bridge pose or the Setu Bandhasana. And this action of lifting the pelvis has brought the sternum close to the chin. So this is a chin lock. And now you can release. Slowly and gently come down. Lower your buttocks to the floor. Stretch your legs out. Palms to the ceiling and relax. Now you can bring your hands back, bring your feet together, wriggle your toes. We'll be looking at two more stretches that give us the same benefit of stretching the quad and the hip flexor. Now the first of these is the Chakrasana. It's also called the Urdhva Mukha Dhanurasana. So let's try this. Fold your knees and make sure you have space for your hands to be placed on the mat. So now you can bring your hands. You can watch, I'm placing my hands in such a way that my fingers are pointing towards my feet. And the inside of my wrist is pointing to the wall behind my head. So this is the hand position. Walk your feet a little towards you and then lift your midsection off the floor. Tighten the buttocks and lift yourself up. You can keep the knees straight or keep them slightly bent. Both are fine. Push the pelvis up higher. Push the buttocks higher by tightening them. And now release. So when you come down, you bring your crown of the head towards the floor and then the back of the head and then lower yourself down fully and then stretch your legs out and relax. Now this chakrasana that we did is a very good stretch for the anterior body. So you stretch into your calf, your hip flexor, also your abdomen and the chest and the shoulders and the arms. Because it stretched the anterior body, it contracted the posterior body. Next, we'll be going for another variation to stretch into the hip flexor and the calf. So we're going for the Dhanurasana. Please lie down on your stomach. This is called the prone position. Put it on the mat. Hands are by your side, elbows are bent. This is just to relax. Now you fold your knees and bring your heels towards your buttocks. With your right hand, reach towards the right ankle and grab the right ankle, taking your thumb also around the ankle joint. So fingers and the thumb have circled the ankle joint. Now with your left, do the same. Keep the knees together and the feet also together. And lift your knees off the floor at the same time, upper body off the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Look forward as you push your feet towards the wall behind you. So now if you notice, from here, by pushing the feet away, I'm able to lift my head and shoulders so much better. Be here. Look forward. Knees and upper body are both off the floor. The abdomen is on the floor. You can, if you wish, you can slightly roll forward and back or just hold the pose. Now in the final stage, you could try to bend the elbows towards the ceiling. That helps to lift the knees a little better, but that's not important. But if you can do it, please try it. If not, keep your elbows straight and hold. And finally, release. Release the legs down. Release your forehead down. Bring your hands by your side. Stretch out your legs and rest your head on your right cheek. It's very nice to rest on the floor in a supine position. This is one of the restful positions to help the body recuperate post-run, post-stretches. Now you can release. And once again, go back to the supine lying position. Now we'll be doing yet another stretch. Please fold your knees, kneecaps towards the ceiling. And fold your left leg and place your left foot on your right thigh. The foot is placed very close to the knee joint. And then move your foot to the center of the mat. So the foot that's on the floor, we're moving it to the center of the mat. The right foot is now in the center of the mat, left leg is folded, left foot is on the right thigh. Now get the right foot off the floor. So when we get the right foot off the floor, we are bringing this folded leg closer to the midsection. And then we reach for the thigh from, take one hand, right hand on the outside of the right thigh, and left hand between the two legs, and then grab the knee from behind by interlocking the fingers as I'm showing. Interlock the fingers behind the right thigh, and then draw the right thigh some more towards your face. And now with your left elbow, you'll be pushing onto your left thigh like this and lifting the upper body up. So now this is a very nice stretch for the muscles in the left thigh. So the outer thigh muscles are getting stretched here. This is a very good stretch for runners. You hold into the stretch. Continue to push with your elbow. At the same time, bring your face towards the knee. It's a very good stretch for the lower back as well. It gives a great relief to the lower back, outer thigh, and release. Now we'll be switching this stretch for the other side. Lower the legs down and switch. Now fold your right leg. Place your right foot on your left thigh just below the knee. Get the left foot in the center of the mat. You can slightly move it in. And then get it off the floor. And then reach for the back of the thigh with both hands. So left hand moves on the outside of the left thigh. Right hand moves between the two legs. And you interlock your fingers behind the thigh just below the knee joint. And with your right elbow, push your right thigh away. Move your face towards your left knee. Keep on lifting your face up. Continue to push with your right thigh. So your right elbow is pushing onto your right thigh, pushing it away, deepening the stretch in the outer thigh, as well as the lower back, and slowly release. Come back, lower the legs down, rest your body, feet apart, knees together, arms by your side. Now we'll be coming up to sitting. So you can roll to your left or to your right. Lie down on your side and then push yourself up to sitting using both your hands. And next we'll be going for Baddha Konasana. This is the cobbler position, also very good for the inner thighs. So today I'm covering all the stretches that are required for a runner to bring the body back to its relaxed and stretched position after a run. So running tends to contract the muscles and it creates a big load on all the joints and the muscles. So that's why we're relaxing them to also dissolve some of the lactic acid buildup. Now, to do this position from a extended leg position, you're folding your knees and bringing the soles of your feet in towards your body. So now the heels are together and the feet are together. The toes are aligned to each other and you're holding your ankles. This is the cobbler position. You can simply look forward. Now your knees may be off the floor, and to get the knees down, you could draw the feet somewhere away from you, and that helps to rest the legs on the floor. So you can do this. And if you want a more intense stretch for the inner thighs, then you can always bring your heels closer to your body. Now we'll be moving the knees up and down. This is called the butterfly position or the Bhadrasana. This is also very good for the inner thighs. Also good for the men for the prostate. Keep on moving the knees a little more brisk. And release. Next we'll be stretching the legs out. This is a basic Dandasana sitting position or the staff pose. The legs are extended and kept straight. Toes are pointing towards you. You can keep your hands by your side and elevate your upper body by taking support from your hands. So in this position, the upper body is at a right angle to the floor. I like this pose because it relaxes the legs at the same time. It elevates the chest. Now in some of these stretches, most of them are yoga stretches. So for each pose, we have a counter pose. And for this one, the counter pose is to simply take the legs outside of the mat, bring your feet behind, hands behind you, fingers pointing away from you, and place them on the floor, and then just look up. So this is Shitila Dandasana. It relaxes into the outer thighs. Allows your ankles to rest. I find this pose deeply relaxing. Now we'll be coming back. Bring your feet in one at a time. Next, we'll be going for a forward fold. Now, this stretch session cannot be complete without Paschimottanasana. It's an anterior fold for the body, and there are several variations. However, we just do a few. And the benefits of this pose are several. It stretches the posterior body, and it's an intense stretch for the lower back. It contracts your stomach. So let's try to do this. It helps with your digestion as well. Keep your arms by your side and bring them forward. Legs are straight. Take your arms up over your head. Keep your upper arms close to the ears and your hands parallel to each other, and stretch your upper body upwards. Make sure you're elevating your chest. And now you'll be bending forward. So hinge at the hip joint. Stretch into the lower back and bend forward. Now, if you are new to this pose, your hands may only reach towards your ankle. That's fine. You can keep your hands by the side of your ankles. Otherwise, you could stretch forward some more And in the final stage, push your upper body down, face towards the knees, and hold. I always like to tell people to stretch rather than simply holding the feet. So we are not holding the feet, we're keeping the stretch active today because it's very easy to hold the feet and then move the elbows out and lower the body. That becomes aided. Now we're trying to do this without any help from the hands. The easiest would be also to hold the ankles and then go. So ankles or feet, we're not going to hold. Please stretch your upper body forward. Make sure with every exhalation your fingers are moving some more away from your feet, beyond your feet. Look towards your knees. Tuck your face down towards the knees. Keep your hands and elbows stretching as you go deeper into this pose. With every exhalation, stretch some more. Also pull your belly button inwards towards your spine. Create more space. And release. Finish an exhalation. Come back slowly up with an inhalation. So now this is a very intense stretch for the back. People who suffer from back pain should not be doing this. Option would be to bend the knees and try to go into a forward fold if you have back pain. Now you can relax your legs. And we'll be ending the session with the pigeon pose. So that's the last pose that we are doing today for this session. So let's come to the front of the mat. Please come to the front of your mat and sit with your legs crossed. Now my left leg is in the front and right leg is inside. Both legs are crossed without any overlapping. Now sit with your back straight and take your left leg back. So move the left leg back and keep both your hands in the center of your mat. The right knee is placed on the mat. The back of the knee is towards the ceiling. And the sole of the left foot is also facing up. Now this is the very basic position. If you notice, the knee is bent. Right knee is bent and right heel is towards the body. It is the knee to the heel is not parallel to the edge of the mat. It is going inwards. It's at an angle, diagonally placed. And now hands on the floor and you look up. This is the basic version of the pigeon pose, the Rajapapotasana. Now we'll be making the stretch a little more intense. So please bring your right hand in the center of the mat and fold the left leg. Bring the left heel towards your buttock. Now with your free left hand, reach for your ankle and bend this knee towards the ceiling. Sorry, bend the elbow, left elbow towards the ceiling. Keep on drawing the left heel towards your buttock, left buttock, and look over your shoulder. Now this action is creating a stretch for the quadricep. As you can see, hip flexor and quadricep of the left is sinking towards the floor. Very nice intense stretch for the quadricep, left thigh quadricep. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can release. Now you can also do this pose with a twist. So bring your left hand in the center of the mat. Once again, fold the left leg and this time reach for the left ankle with your right hand and look over your right shoulder. If you bend the elbow, you can draw the heel some more towards your back. And then release. Now you can switch. So to switch from this pose, first you bear down into your right thigh. So you sit into the right thigh and then slowly fold your left leg and bring the leg back. All these movements of taking the legs away from the body and brought back should be done very slowly to prevent injury. Now keep your right foot in the front this time. Left leg is inside, right foot is in the front. The legs are simply folded, both legs are flat on the floor. Now we'll be doing this pose to the other side. So it asks you to take your right leg back this time. Take the right leg fully back and keep the back of the knee facing the ceiling. The right foot relaxed on the floor. Both your hands in front of you and your left heel is towards your crotch. The knee to the ankle is not parallel to the edge of the mat. It is taken in at an angle, as you can see. Hands on the floor and look up. Stretch. So you're stretching into the torso. Now we'll be taking the stretch, making it more intense for the quad. So first we fold the right leg at the knee joint. Bring the left hand in the center of the mat. With your right hand, reach for your right ankle. Fold your right elbow and draw the heel towards your buttock. And look up, look back over your right shoulder. Quadricep and hip flexor stretching. Keep on breathing and then release. Now, bring your right hand to the center of the mat and reach for your right foot with your left hand this time. So now you're twisting into the pose and you're looking over your left shoulder. And then release. Slowly and gently let go. Sit into the left thigh. And then bring your right leg forward. So you can sit simply cross-legged. And you can do a couple of breathing cycles. Breathe in from your nose. Breathe out from your nose. Breathe in. Breathe out. 4 counts in breath. 4 counts out breath. Repeat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in 4. Breathe out for 6. Breathe in. Breathe out for 6. Breathe in 4. Try to hold for 4. Breathe out 6. Now we breathe in for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 8. Repeat. Breathe in. 4 counts. Hold 4. Breathe out 8. And you can do it once more. Hands are kept in this thumb and index touching position. This helps the body to retain its heat and also takes you to a meditative state. Breathe in 4 counts. Hold 4. Breathe out 8. This is ratio breathing. It's deeply relaxing. Breathe in 4. Hold 4. Breathe out 8. Now you can simply open your eyes, bring your palms together, rub your palms, and place them on your eyes and relax. Feel your eyes relax below the palms. Feel the warmth of your palms seep into your eyes and release. Thank you for attending this stretch session. And as I said, it's for runners. So we did pre-run stretches. Those were done after warm-up. And then we also did some post-run stretches. Those were held for longer time, 30 seconds. And these are also very good for people who walk a lot. So please remember to do the pre and post run stretches and keep yourself safe and healthy. Thank you so much.